On today's episode of WatchJRGo, we are here with my free Ford Focus that we got with that Infiniti for just $800. That's right, we paid $800 for two cars, and this one was just thrown in. And it kind of looks like it belonged in the free bin as well. What is going on, guys? I am WatchJRGo, and today, like I said, here with my free Ford Focus. I don't know what year it is, but it looks to be somewhere between 03 and 05, something like that. Could be as early as 02, but this thing does not run and drive. It does run though, and we pulled it in here just a minute ago with this tow strap, and I gotta kind of untangle this tow strap and get everything that we just did undone because it's honestly very hard to move. So it was running, it's nice and warm now. It looks like the battery might be trash because there is corrosion all over the terminals, but it's powered by that ultra reliable 2-liter 4-cylinder Ford engine. I actually am a big fan of this engine. It seems as reliable to me as like a K-Series Honda. They just keep running and keep running and keep running, and as long as you keep putting oil in them, it seems like they'll go 200,000 to 300,000 miles reliably. And I actually don't know what the mileage is on this, so we're gonna jump in and check that right now. I would assume it's pretty high. And we're gonna actually check out this entire car and see what we got into, what we have to do to get it running, and well, maybe we put the front end back on. We do have the bumper, so it's got that going for it. Does it need a back bumper too? Okay, it does have a back bumper on it. I wasn't sure. It might just have no body panels from the factory. Anyway, we're gonna untangle our tow strap here and do a quick little cleanup and jump right back in. You guys remember what I just said about these engines going like 200,000+ miles? We just turned it on and looked at the cluster and it has 247,000 miles on it, and this engine is running like a top. Now it's got me questioning, why does the oil look amazing? Look at that. That's perfect oil. It's right on the dot too. Is it not burning oil at 247,000 miles? These really are good engines. I'm sure people are gonna come in here and be like, well, I had a bad one. But I have dealt with a lot of these in my life. And first of all, very repairable. And second of all, it seems like they all have 200,000 miles on them, or they're getting really close. So, battery completely dead. We threw it on the charger just so we could get the mileage off the dash there. It is charging now. It says it's sulfated. I would assume that it is because it's been sitting for a long time. So we're gonna let the battery charge. While we do that, we're gonna take you on a walk around of this beautiful Ford Focus. The door sticker says this thing was manufactured 06 of 07, so it's actually pretty late in the generation for these cars. And this is one of the most loaded Ford Focuses of this era I've ever seen in my life. So in the first video, I mentioned it has secure code. Let's take a quick look at that. It's funny, it's one of the most poorly integrated ones I've ever seen. You know, it looks better on the town car, it looks better on the trucks. Obviously the new ones all have it like the Explorers that had it in the digital keypad there where it's completely flush. Those ones were really good. This is one of the worst looking ones I've ever seen, but also having secure code on the doors is super nice. And of course, even if you don't know the code, you can just walk around locking people's cars by pushing the last two buttons at the same time. 7890, push them at the same time, it'll lock the car. And secure code does a lot more than just lock and unlock. You can unlock one door at a time, unlock all the doors by pressing things over and over. And obviously we'll find the code for this too. It should be written on the BCM, so we'll figure it out and then hopefully have some fun doing secure code things. This door handle doesn't work at all. You have to go through the back door, open the front door, and then climb in the front door every single time you want to get in. So we will have to pull a door panel off here.
This is typical Ford shenanigans.
It really is, honestly. It's never happened to any other Ford I've ever seen, but yeah, it sounds typical. It's got a sunroof, which is awesome. Think about it. This is a Focus. It was cheap. I bet this thing was, I don't know, 25 grand back in its day. It wasn't very expensive, especially compared to today where you can find anything comparable. When we get inside, it's gonna be wild. This thing is full of stuff. I can't wait to see what we're gonna find. But first, let's head to the trunk actually and see what we find there. It's an SES, not a Limited or anything like that. I don't know if they had anything higher than SES back then.
What does that stand for?
Super, everything super. Yeah, that's, I can only assume. It does have a keyhole, which is something you'd never find on a vehicle from today. washer sprayer in the back glass wiper. This thing come from Europe? Wow, what is going on? This thing has a subwoofer. It's got a factory.
Hold on.
You think I'm kidding? This is a factory subwoofer Focus. I told you it was loaded. This thing probably, it's probably a really good car. All right, so this is interesting. We have a lot of stuff here. So we have a cardboard box.
I'm gonna prep for the ACT.
A whole lot of nasty stuff. There's no head unit in the front, look at that. There's just a hole in the dash kit there. But then, come back here, Kenwood, MP3, WMA, and Bluetooth receiver. It's got BT in the model name.
It's not a bad one.
It's actually not a bad one. I'll give them some credit here. It does have steering wheel controls too, which is sick. We'll get into that in a minute. But this appears to be everything you need to put this car back together. I'm surprised this was back here. This is the first time we've seen any of this. For some reason, the back is full of packing trash, so let's take a quick look at that. Paper, 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 paper. The jack. Oh, gross. This is not what I wanted to find in the back of the car.
Not your cup of tea.
Hold on, I gotta get my protective paper out. This needs to go right in the trash. The shock doctor. All right, I've got my fingers wrapped around the paper here. Let me go get rid of this. It was time to go full doctor because I'm not gonna touch anything else like that. It's just too. Doctor?
Doctor.
All right, we got the ACT prep book 2021-2022 with 3 tests.
Cool.
So that is something.
That's gotta be relevant, right? Information doesn't change.
Yeah, it honestly probably is just fine. Do you need to pass the ACTs?
No, it's cool, man.
Divide 702 by 2.6. That's nonsense if you have to do that in your head.
No, I made a 30 on mine.
So there's some chlorophyll stuff there. Oh, I like the reading part. The math part's terrible. Love the reading part. All right, goodbye, ACT prep.
Just threw away knowledge.
Do you need this too?
No, I think I'm good.
Pretty nasty.
That is
Pretty
I
nasty.
think there's better things now.
All right, so we got drip drops.
Drip, drop, drip.
Dehydration relief fast.
So,
Is this?
that's
Okay.
a glove.
Phew, I thought it was something else for a minute. I was concerned. All right, another glove. A bunch more paper. The amount of paper in this thing. This car is crazy, man. I haven't seen this much nasty stuff in a long time. Well, we haven't really done one of these in a long time. We haven't done a here's a cheap car, how terrible is it, in
That's true.
probably 2 years.
It's been a long time.
Yeah. Sweet and salty mix. It's no longer chocolatey at all.
That's
This is just straight up glass. Love that. I found the rest of the glass. Gatorade bottle.
gotta
Now,
stay hydrated.
this I'm very pumped about. Oh, I thought it was I thought this was the refrigeration one, not the headlight one. But I've never seen this kit. I've never opened one of these up. So BG876. Dude, that's all in there. Alcohol prep pad.
Nice.
Clear coat. Masking paper, masking tape, sanding paper. I will say, I would never go this route. If you have to, like, that's too much work compared to the round discs. The round discs are so much easier and faster.
Yeah, but you can take off a lot too if you do that. So.
The only thing you can do with this, that takes off a lot. It's funny.
Dude, you might as well just have a brick.
That's the sheetrock sanding block. This is literally everything that you get at Lowe's or Home Depot to work on your house. This is how you do it with your headlights, you know?
What is that? What's the grid on that one?
Oh, probably 200-300. It's not terrible. 300, it's probably 300. All right, that's cool, at least. Yeah, I'm gonna give that some.
That's a save.
Yeah. Lots of trash here. We got some shirts. Anything interesting?
Female body investigator.
It's the female booty investigator. What a classic shirt.
Hawaii.
Absolutely classic. I love that it's like a child large too. That was so small. That was some kid was wearing it.
Or a girl.
I'd be excited about that if it was full, but it's not. 2-stroke well. So we took an L on that one. We got the jack here. We got some Hubba Bubba.
Also empty.
Also awesome.
That's a loss.
What on earth?
Oh, that's the T.
Oh, it is the tea out of the tea jar.
Yeah.
Goodbye, tea. Well, the whole back of this thing is filled with tea then. And a whole bunch more hydration drops, Slim Jims, pretty much everything you'd expect, you know?
Well, at least it didn't smell bad.
Wait, what's
Maybe
this?
because of that biofreeze?
Cool the pain.
Yes.
Okay, that goes to, and let's see, I assume the spare tire is missing because of all of this nonsense. Oh,
It's there.
it is not missing. It's not even flat.
Nice.
All right, well, that's the back.
Rubber bands.
Rubber band man, wild as the Taliban, 9 in my right, 45 in my other hand. Anyway, anytime you say rubber band, it has to happen. Let's get into the car itself here, now that we've seen the trunk of the Focus.
Oh, man.
I think we're expecting protein bars. Like, clearly this guy played baseball at this point.
That's probably still good for
You need this?
hitting
You need
someone.
to play catch with your kids?
You know what?
It's a Rawlings.
Let's see if it fits.
It's a Rawlings, dude.
See if it fits.
You're gonna put it on?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
This is a GG Elite. I actually think this is a good glove.
Brett, I really think this,
I think it's a good glove.
that's not a bad one.
It's clearly broken in.
That's softball, though. This was a girl's car.
Are you sure?
This has to be a girl's car.
Okay. This is softball?
Softball. Look at the size of the glove, the opening there. It's not...
I don't know anything about either of them. I don't do either of those sports. All right, so we got some Quick Trip pizza. There's no girl indications in this car.
What about the tea?
I guess tea, but like guys drink tea. Are you trying to make tea sexist?
No, I'm just saying women are more likely to drink.
I'm kidding.
What is it? That was like some sort of...
Maybe the strawberry C4 is the indicator
There you
here.
go.
Strawberry C4. What else we have here? Unlimited Dr. Pepper. And also, girls don't usually... I don't see that many girls just trash their cars like this. People are going to disagree with me. Brand new?
what year?
Best Buy 1823. You sure?
Still good.
Still, honestly, it's probably good for like a million years.
Yeah, still good. Let's put that with the glove.
Yeah, I put it in the trash.
That was the wrong glove.
Yeah, sorry. Didn't mean to. All right, what's this one? I don't want to keep going, it's nasty. It's really gross. All right, we have these, I hate these things. I've never put them in any car. I never will, so some people like them. Straight to the trash. You still think it's a girl's car?
All right. I mean, well, hold on. Girls shave too.
Yeah.
But all right.
You
So-
trying to make shaving sexist? Okay.
But there was the cup. Excuse me, the athletic supporter.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. See?
but then, yeah, I don't know, man.
We got some sweet watermelon extra here.
Maybe it was a brother and sister.
Oh, gross! There were stains in areas. Oh,
All right, so
I sure am happy I put these disposable gloves on. Simply Protein, just a whole lot of food in general. Luckily, there's no mice in this thing. I will say this is the best part of this car. It's worth more than the whole car. Plus, I have everything Dyson makes. You know,
Yeah.
I've got all their vacuums, their cordless vacuums.
Dyson does make some good stuff.
It's the best in the world. I don't care who says Ninja's good.
I will say the Shark is catching up.
Yeah, people say that. People say that.
I mean, granted, my Dyson is like 12 years old, but the Shark is definitely outperforming.
I got that new like V15 or whatever. We've got one side sorted out here. One side down. Off to the next side. The manual's in the back. And, you know, obviously it's Kansas, so there's an ice scraper. It's just as Kansas does. Let's see. Anything else interesting in the back? A bunch more food. Home Depot bag. Lifesavers gummies. Trail mix again. A full protein shake. Dare you to drink it.
No.
Honestly, I feel bad saying those words.
No, that's not happening.
It's so gross. All right, this is the last of the back. Another protein bar. Quit trying to eat the protein.
I'm not. I'm looking at the date there. 18 July 23, so.
It's really, none of it's that old.
No.
It looks like this thing's been sitting forever, but. All right, anything else? Will we discover anything else in this thing? Wow, that's horrible. I don't even know what a Waterloo is. It's a hit and miss engine's what a Waterloo is. Another full one. and whatever that is. Oh, are these snaps? Actually, I don't think they are. I think they're straight up fireworks.
Nice.
You want to try it? This is pre-lift. Wild
I'll
grape.
bet you it's dead. I bet you it's completely dead.
There's not much left.
Oh, that's dead.
Oh, it smells like, it's got that grape. I've done some of that like grape Advocare. It has the same smell. What is this? Baseball gumballs. See, are you sure it was softball? Are you sure? I don't know. Gross.
Oh, no.
Immediate trash. Somebody loved Dr. Pepper. Love Dr. Pepper. There's still more.
This car will get a few extra miles to the gallon after clearing all this stuff out.
It really
this is
will.
insane.
It really will. We got some pills. Take one. It's a guy's name. Tylenol 650s. Well, those are still good. I shouldn't throw away Tylenol 650s.
Nah, go ahead and keep those.
I'm obviously throwing them away. L544. We can look it up. Just to see. Anything good here? Oh, speeding ticket! Speeding ticket, speeding ticket. 50 and a 40. Lame. Didn't even try.
No, that's...
They paid it. It was $171.
Jeez.
Speed over limit. They should have talked to them.
I mean, $170, that's worth going faster.
They should, yeah. I mean, it doesn't cost that much more to go a lot faster. So, this is not legal advice. I'm gonna throw that away. If you go a lot faster, it costs a lot more. A lot faster. Well, that's pretty much it. Insurance cards and stuff like that. Things you would expect in here. U.S. Army, my brother is in the U.S. Army. You need that for your van?
No. No.
All right,
Get out of here with that stuff.
Here's what I'm here for. Free QT Kitchens pretzel. That sounds fire.
Are those still good?
No, they're all expired. They all expired in 23.
Maybe they'll still honor them.
They might too. Quick Trip's awesome.
They are pretty great.
But all of this sounds good. Free grilled cheese, free classic mac and cheese. I mean, it might be worth trying it.
I mean, that's dinner.
Yeah, just be like, I was in my car.
Yeah.
It was in my car.
It was...
Oh, Chick-fil-A!
Oh, snap.
Do you think it's a Chick-fil-A gift? It is a... I'm gonna see if there's money on there. We might be coming out way ahead on this car.
Shoot.
This car was free, and if we get just those things from Quick Trip and some Chick-fil-A, we're way ahead. And that $20 Dyson attachment right there. Like, we're doing well. There's a bunch of money in here too. A bunch of quarters, a headlight, the back of a headlight, or some kind of tool on this, isn't it? 21mm socket.
Hey,
again, ahead of the game. We're making money. We're making money right now. See if there's anything in here. Trash, bunch of trash. Screen cleaner, receipt from O'Reilly's. I'm just gonna assume that it was for oil because they changed their oil a lot apparently. More Dr. Pepper, Skittles C4, McDonald's, protein bar. That's the 900th protein bar we found in this thing, isn't it? I think we're up there. And that's it. I'd say it's clean. All the rest is paperwork that I'm not gonna get into because it might have some PII on it. So that's pretty much it. We have the Focus cleaned out, ready to go be vacuumed. Now I have to carefully remove these gloves so as to not touch anything that I just touched. So it was all kind of gross. But now we can figure out what's wrong with it. And I think this car is gonna be a very, very easy fix. So let's get it on the lift and let's go to Chick-fil-A and see if we can get a free lunch out of this thing.
Yeah.
Ooh, baby, starting at the front here, we've got a Wix filter.
Wix!
Things are looking good for the maintenance on this car, I gotta say. The CVs have been replaced and look fine. Just a quick look around, no broken boots. We're not gonna go too deep on this inspection here. Sway bar and links are in good shape. Rust is minimal, surface rust on the cross member there, or the K member, whatever that one is going to be called. E-brake actually looks like it's intact. Fuel filter looks pretty new, shiny. Yeah, e-brake is all connected still. A little surprising. A little bit of rust back here on the rear cradle, but it's not falling apart. I mean, it's still solid as a rock, so surface rust mostly. Sway bar could use some new bushings, but they're actually intact. They're not cracked, they're just squished. I'm really not seeing a bunch of problems. Factory exhaust, that's clearly got a broken hanger.
Yeah.
One broken hanger.
Needs a donut.
Oh, another broken hanger. So the exhaust is upset. That's basically it. It's not the donut, it snapped off at the well.
Yeah.
It fully snapped.
I see.
What it needs is a a clamp from Home Depot. Baling wire, old school. Yeah, going old school on the Focus. Anyway, all of that looks really good. I think we're gonna be able to fix this car in a matter of seconds. I thought we were gonna be able to fix this car in a matter of seconds, and my hopes have just been dashed. We do have to fix that. That needs all put back together, and it needs to support the radiator again. So that's on the to-do list, bend back that bracket. But what we need here is the shift cables, which are right here under the exhaust. I think the shift cables are disconnected from the transmission or from the shifter, because no matter what you do, the shifter is just fully floppy. It makes no difference what you try to do. And when we bought the car, they said this one has a bad clutch. I think it's fine. The engine works great. There's no rattles when it's idling. I think it's not connected to its shifter. So that's what we're trying to find out here. We're just chasing this thing around, trying to get to the shifter itself, which means we're probably gonna need to pull the battery box and then get down in here real quick. But we might be driving this car in a matter of minutes, and we also might be dropping the entire exhaust, which seems like a bit of a project slash every bolt's gonna strip. So let's see. So I just had Gabe inside moving the shifter around, and while he was doing that, I was over here looking at the shift linkages. And I could see they were moving. Both cables were moving. There's one going like flapping back and forth like this, and there's another one in the back I can't really see, but I could see that the cable was moving. But let's go inside. I want to show you guys what's going on in the car. This is a pretty critical piece of the puzzle here. Obviously the shift knob is off for some reason. It's right there. Not really sure what happened to that, but there's no gates. Okay, wait, it's like locked in gear now. Okay, that's neutral right there, right? Neutral. You can hear it moving up front. And that should be the gears, but nothing's happening. If I try to put it in first, nothing. Now it seems like it's in reverse. Ooh, it moved into a gear. Now it's locked in this gate over here, which is fifth in reverse, nothing else. So whatever's going on in here is not good. Worse than I thought when I was expecting the shift cable to be popped off. We have no gears in this Ford Focus. It literally just freewheels in there. So the next thing we need to do is get the battery out of here, get the battery tray out of here. I think once I move all this, I should be able to get down to the shift assembly and see what's going on there, because now I'm pretty convinced that it has nothing to do with the cables themselves or the shifter, which I thought it could be either of those. It seems like it's something in the transmission. So let's figure it out. All right, I've got the battery out, the battery cover, or the top of the battery box off, and now we are down to the important part here. I did go ahead and remove the cruise control module. That is 3/8. There's a couple 10s, one there and one here, and then of course there's one there that I haven't pulled yet. I actually need to do that. And then you'll want to support the transmission after you pull all of these out of there. So you'll want a trim tool to pop all those tabs off, for all the wire supports. This connector's got to come off, all the wiring to the cruise and the battery. Pop them all off the battery box. There is a lot on there, way more than you'd ever expect. And then grab your socket, pull this engine mount out, pull those 4 bolts off the top, and we should have access to the top of the transmission. It's not a huge job. It'll just take 15-20 minutes of working away, popping connectors and pulling bolts. 5 more bolts for the engine mount, and we are home free here. We are removing the battery tray. All right, so I've got everything laid out there exactly the way it needs to go back in. The bolts are with the parts they need to go with. And now it looks like, sure would be nice if we could pull this bracket off, but there's where the shifter cables are connected. We have finally made it down to it. I'm gonna have to lower my jack under the transmission again so I can get to a couple of the bolts that are hard to get to there, but this shouldn't be too much of a process here. That back bolt, it's invisible, so I'll figure it out, but we'll get in here with a swivel socket, pull the rest of this mount off, and that should give us access to the top of this thing. And you can see it's been leaking right there. It's not the valve cover. The valve cover on this thing looks completely dry. I think the top of the transmission has been leaking. So whatever's going on with this thing, we're gonna dig in here and we're gonna figure it out. Doesn't seem like it's gonna be too terrible to fix, whatever it is. I think we found our culprit. This thing, as soon as I got it out and pushed on it, it's not even seated. I'm sure it's probably supposed to move up and down, but I think it blew itself apart. Maybe that top seal went bad or something and it leaked everywhere. And it looks like that's the reverse sensor or something too, so we gotta get that off of there. Hey, that's gonna be nice. Actually released immediately. Good connectors are good. Nice and clean. So all we need to do now is unbolt this top thing and pop the cables off it. Well, there you go. I got it all apart. You guys can actually see into the top of the transmission there. See the gears spinning right now as I spin the wheel. And the shifter, all of it is controlled by those two little dogs right there, and like a kind of a pin or a channel locks into those and pushes them around, and that's what selects the gears right there. Well, this thing, once I got it out of here, this is the actual shifter for the car. Broken. And this plastic here sits in that channel and controls the up and down movement. So this one here controls the up and down. And this one here controls back and forth, right? Well, this wasn't on like at all, basically, when I got it apart. And that was broken, half of it was missing. I found this random piece of plastic in there that says Lux, so you know it's a transmission part. And it's like the oil plug for the transmission, that was blown out, that's cool. Everything covered in oil, but in reality, this entire shift assembly here is toast. So I looked it up and it looks like the part number's been superseded at least 3 times. Back in the day, it was a C and then there was a G and now there's an F or something like that. And they sell this entire assembly for a little over $100. So I think we should have another one of these here in a day or two. Lots of wear in there anyway. And then this thing will be back on the road and no worse for the wear. So this has definitely turned into a little bit more than the free fix that I was hoping, just a cable that had snapped off. But I will give them a bunch of credit for the cables being quick disconnects. You push a button and then just lift them off. So that is incredibly nice. You don't have to do any major work to get the cables off of that, and then the entire shifter assembly comes out pretty easily as well. So assuming that the parts show up tomorrow morning, we'll be driving this thing tomorrow afternoon. So that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop WatchJRGo.com for cool shirts, not like this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. And I will talk to you next time. I mean, we got it all cleaned up. We still have the felony forced in there. We got to get rid of that. I found some paperwork saying this came from the Wichita or Kansas Auto Auction. You can see that sticker there said Kansas Auto Auction on it. And of course, we got to fix the door handle still. But for the most part, we have this thing ready to go back on the road. I'm hoping, after just swapping out that one part. Pretty crazy that it wasn't a shifter cable. It's actually something internal to this transmission. And of course, as soon as I get the new one in tomorrow, well, we'll jump in here and put the bumper back on, put the bumper support back in. We have the styrofoam, we have all of that stuff, and it all just been ripped off the front. And of course, I'll fix that bracket that somebody tried to tow the car with, unfortunately. And we should really be back on the road. So I'm excited.